I'm really enjoying this So Will I series that we're in as we look at the book of Psalms, and I'm very much looking forward to continuing it. This past week, we looked at Psalm 73. It's written by Asaph, a guy who lived 3,000 years ago, a worship leader in the tabernacle and temple of God. And this guy had some struggles, I imagine, like you and I have. He saw people living however they wanted, people who just shoved God aside, and yet they prospered greatly. In fact, they had people in their world following them, praising them. And I see that in our lives, in our world today, that there are people who, they don't live for God. They want nothing to do with God. And yet they prosper greatly. They have hordes of people follow them. People want to be like them. And people are trying to even imitate them and get the same success. And yet, what Asaph found, and maybe you find it this way too, when you, maybe as you're a follower of Jesus, try to live for God, and yet life doesn't go your way. And you wonder, God, I'm living for you, and I'm not experiencing the same quote-unquote happiness or success that people who don't live for you experience. And as Asaph battled this, listen to what he says here in Psalm 73, verses 16 and 17. He said, when I tried to understand all this, it troubled me deeply, till I entered the sanctuary of God. Then I understood their final destiny. When he was in the presence of God, that changed his perspective. It gave him an eternal perspective. He realized this was not his home. As well, he realized God was with him in the good times and the bad times. And more than that, God would be with him forever. Nothing can be greater than that. Here's what I found when I might have that pity party. Number one, I need to realize the people who have rejected God, they need him. And I need to be selfless like Jesus was for me in trying to testify and be an instrument in their lives, that they may know Jesus, because there is more joy, there is more fulfillment, there is more peace, infinitely so, in knowing God and walking with God than having all the success and fame the world has to offer. And people need the Lord. And I need to live in such a way that they do know the Lord. And for me to do that, I need to learn to enjoy him more. I really have found that to be so true. I imagine Asaph did too. That once he was in the presence of God and just enjoying being with God, that far outweighed everything else this world could offer. For some of us, myself included, maybe the greatest struggle we have is a result of not enjoying God enough. I want to encourage you with this. Spend some time just enjoying God today. Realizing that is where you're going to find your joy. And when you spend that time with God and he fills you up and he gives you a different perspective, and you realize when you have God, you have more than you will ever need. It will bring you peace. I look forward to seeing you in worship this weekend. God bless you.